Good afternoon, everybody. Mike here. It is a beautiful day in early December, and I am out driving the Hellcat, so what could be better than that? So I wanted to talk a little bit today about manual versus automatic transmission cars. You know, this is something that car enthusiasts have been asking themselves for how long? Which one do you go with, automatic or manual? For decades now we've been talking about this, but I get that question a lot. You know, what do you prefer, automatic or manual? And for me, it really comes down to two main factors. It comes down to personal preference and the type of car that it is. So personal preference, you know, a lot of people get a bad rap in the United States. You know, a lot of people say, oh, well, the US, they're not real car enthusiasts. They don't even drive manuals, this, that, and the other thing. But, you know, what do you want kids to do? You know, you can't blame them because they grow up their entire lives only being around automatics, and nobody's parents drives manuals anymore. So it's a really rare thing to see in this country. So, you know, a lot of kids do get a bad rap because they don't know how to drive a manual here, but that's not a big deal. I've never thought, you know, I've never been one of these people who's like, if you don't know how to drive a manual, or if you don't know how to drive a manual, then you're not a real car enthusiast. I don't think that's necessarily true. I think that, you know, there's different strokes for different folks, like everything in life. And, you know, a lot of kids, like I was saying, don't ever get exposed to it. The only time sometimes a 15 or 16-year-old will have his or her first experience with a manual car is when they go out shopping and say, hey, maybe I want to try this out. So you really can't blame people for that. What's good though is that people still learn, you know, because the exposure is so low here, but there are still people that do learn and have a good time. And I think that, you know, like I was saying, it doesn't mean you're not a car enthusiast, but as a car enthusiast, it might be something that if you've never done before, you might want to try. Moving on from that particular observation, for me it comes down to the biggest factor for me is the type of car that it is. And, you know, in a car like this, for example, where an automatic and a manual is available, look, I'll be the first one to tell you that the automatic is a lot better, you know, better, however you want to define it. But it's faster, it's more convenient, probably gets better fuel economy nowadays. With most automatics, they are able to get better fuel economy than manuals. Some not, but most of the time. So, you know, if that's how you define better, definitely go with the automatic. But, you know, for me in a car like this, doesn't really matter. You know, I'm not the type of person who cares that much about, you know, 0 to 60 times or track times. I don't take my car to a track. I don't take my car to a drag strip. I would like to for fun, but I would never really do it on that competitive level anyway. So it's not really so important to me, like, to go that much faster. It's not that big of a deal. I enjoy driving a manual transmission car, just because I enjoy it. You know, when I hit like a good gear, and I do it myself, it's, you know, fun, and you get to shift gears. You feel like you're in Fast and the Furious. I know nobody wants to admit that, but that's what you do. Of course, I only have 6 gears. Fast and the Furious has anywhere from 14 to 27. But you know, it's fun to do it, and I don't know why. It's stupid. Why is it more fun to use my leg and you know, the other leg that you never use in an automatic, and doing something with your arm? I don't know why that's fun. Humans are a funny species, right? But it is fun, and it's enjoyable when you get it right. I think because a lot of people who drive manuals, you like the challenge. You know, it's like, it's a challenge to do it properly. If you can drive a manual car really well, it speaks to your abilities as a manual car driver. Now, does that matter in today's world? Not at all, because like we've already established, the automatic is faster anyway. So it doesn't matter if you're the greatest driver on the planet, you still can't win. So it's just a funny thing where that's where the personal preference comes in. And like I was saying a little bit, you know, a car like this, I don't know. I think that either one you go with, number one, is, you know, like I said long ago, it doesn't matter which one you pick. It's all about, you know, it doesn't make you any less of a car enthusiast to pick an automatic. It doesn't make you any more of a car enthusiast to pick a manual. So it's all about what you want. But a car like this, for me, because to me the Hellcat isn't that serious, I would go manual, just because it's not that serious of a car for me, for my purposes. Now, if you want to be able to beat a lot of more things on the road, you know, and you're not a professional driver like myself, which I'm not that fast at shifting. I mean, I'm decent, but this person is making a left turn over a double yellow. That's a new one. You know, if that's something that matters to you, then I would go with the automatic, because let's be honest, the ZF 8-speed that's available, this Subaru was just in my lane and went over there. Subaru, get your shit together. You know, the ZF 8-speed that is available in these cars is fantastic. It's super fast, and it's a great unit. But the manual's fun as well. It's the one from the Viper. It's smooth, fun to drive. So, you know, it doesn't really matter for me. In a car like a Miata or a BRZ, I'd go manual all day long, just because, you know, those are small cars that are just basically for fun. They're not for anything else. They're not for being serious. You know, they're for the track, but they're not to put down massive track times. They're not Nürburgring cars or anything like that. They're just for going out and driving and having a little bit of fun. So I'd go manual in a car like that. Now, you want to talk about something like the Lamborghini Aventador, Ferrari FF, even the new like 458. Even if the manual option was available, I'd probably go dual clutch, just because in a car like that, that's that serious and intense, I would want the automatic, because I feel like that's kind of part of the experience. It's part of making that car super fast and ridiculously aggressive. So I'd probably go with the dual clutch option, even if a manual option was available. And then you got your top tier ridiculous cars like your P1, your 918 LaFerrari, that kind of stuff. You know, you're not going to be rowing your own gears in a car like that. That would look ridiculous and be ridiculous. So in a car like that, I can see why they don't offer it, which a lot of people are upset by, but like I said, I can see it. You know, I can see why you don't offer the manual transmission in a car like that. It just wouldn't really fit. With all that being said, I guess the only answer I can give is that for me, it all comes down to the car. I don't really have a personal preference otherwise, just kind of depends on what I'm driving. You know, my daily driver, like my pickup truck, I wouldn't want to drive a manual in that. I'd go automatic all day long. Something like this, or like I said, a smaller car just for fun, I'd go with the manual. But either way, you can't go wrong. So the reason why I wanted to talk about this today was kind of a little precursor to two videos that I have coming out that I actually filmed a while ago. I filmed them when I still had the Corvette, so yeah, it was a little bit of a time ago now. But basically, it was just videos about 5 things that suck about a manual transmission car and 5 things that are awesome about a manual transmission car. And I just wanted to make this video as a little precursor to that, and it should be a fun little throwback, you know, back to the Corvette days. And so if you're watching that video, look for that at some point next week. And if you're watching it and wondering why I'm driving a Corvette around, that is why. But as always, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and if you're stopping in for the first time, please subscribe. Take care. Have a great day.